I want to make 15 liters of soap. I have chemicals here. I asked that my perfume was poured into a container. So this is the perfume. This is caustic. This is soda. This is soda ash. This is STP. So caustic is kinda lighter than STPP. This is nitrous. So whenever you're mixing this, you need to be very careful. This SLS, the green is green, and this hexapon. This is sulfonic. This is a foam booster. This sulfonic acid. These two are sulfonic acid. I actually bought SS because I want to deconcentrate one particular thing. So that's why I have two bottles here. So soda ash actually neutralizes caustic. It's a bit much. It's always a bit more than caustic. So it neutralizes caustic from itching, hurting the fingers or the nails, the hands when washing. All this here actually acts as foaming agents. This is a foaming agent. This is specifically a foaming agent. It also helps balances the caustic and soda ash. This is a thickener. It has as a thickener. This also acts as a foaming agent. Yeah. Then this is STPP. Balances everything. It just helps to balance the whole pH of the whole chemical. So let's get mixing. Unless I forget, this is the color. So let's start mixing. So I'm going to dissolve this into a little liter of water. Remember, I'm using 15 liters. I'm producing 15 liters of soap. So I'm going to dissolve this into let's say 2 liters of water alongside this thickener, and I'm going to do that in a large bowl. So that will be the bowl I'm going to use in producing the 15 liters. So let's get to it. So this is just a paint bucket I want to use. I'm actually stirring with a stick. So I'm going to fill this up with about 2 liters. I have here 11 liters bucket. This is 11 liters. The measurement is inside, that's why I know that it's 11 liters. So I'm going to take a bit of this water and pour it here. Just a bit. Make sure you're wearing gloves when you're doing this. I actually have my gloves beside here, but right now I'm fine without it because I have almost all my harsh chemicals in bottles, and it's kind of safe that way than having them in nylons. So whenever you want to buy this chemical, especially sulfonic, try to buy them in containers, or you can go along with your container to the market. So this is the color. I'm just gonna pour that in. So I got myself lemon, and my perfume is lemon also. I'm just gonna stir that and that's it. The next thing I'm going to do is add this in. So I'm going to be very careful when adding this in, because if not done properly it can form lumps, right? So let's get to it. Okay, now we're done mixing. So the next thing I want to do is set aside a little liter of water. So I actually fetched it from this. You can see that the quantity has reduced. And before I proceed, one thing you want to make sure when doing this is have a nose mask on you, because it's powdery and the powder is more like flour, so it scatters at the. So you might want to have the nose mask close to you. You can see that there's a form of sticker here, right? So and another thing I want to make sure of is staying in one direction. Just stay in one direction, just for consistency sake. Now I'm gonna mix in caustic soda and soda ash here. Remember, caustic soda is an acid, is a very dangerous acid, and soda ash actually helps to balance the caustic soda. So we're going to mix that together, then add it here and mix together. This is caustic soda again. It's a bit like salt. It's a bit like salt. It's rough. So I poured the caustic acid into this bowl and added in a little bit of water so that I can add in the soda ash as you've seen for thorough mixing. So for now, we'll set this aside and mix something else in another container. Now into another container, I'm going to mix in texapone and sulfonic acid. And the quantity of water I've been using so far is still from the 11 liters bucket. So here I just poured a little quantity from that bucket to mix in those two chemicals. This is texapone, so I'm going to pour that into that bowl. Texapone is a foaming agent. Sulfonic is also a foaming agent. So without all these chemicals combined together, you will not get that foam that you really need. And the most interesting thing is those two, especially sulfonic acid, they also add to the volume of the soap. You'll see that as we mix. So this is texapone actually that I mixed like this. It's a foaming agent. You can already see the foam. See the foam now. It's not even added the rest, and we have this already. So I'm just going to pour sulfonic acid into this. So this is sulfonic acid. I'm going to pour this into this bowl and mix. I've poured in all the sulfonic and it's actually very hard to stir this. So at this point, I'm going to pour in this caustic acid and soda ash mixture into this container, and after that I'm going to pour in this into this place. So let's get to that. So I'm actually going to mix as I pour. So that's that. I'm going to start mixing rigorous. Now I have to strengthen my bones to mix. So here I'm turning the sulfonic and the texapone inside this big bowl. Inside this big. I'm just turning everything inside. You can see the thickness. So this is what we have, and we're actually not done mixing the chemicals together. This is what we have at this point. So the next thing I want to do is add in this STPP, but I'm going to first of all dissolve it into 1 liter. Yeah, so I will use this container since I still have chemicals saturated inside it. So I'm going to dissolve this inside this. This is the water we have been using so far, and this is the quantity we have left. So I'm just going to pour into this. That is the little. Just want to put all this together in one place and pour this into this. So this is it. Just pouring that in. It will dissolve as I mix, but you can just mix as you pour, right? So now I am mixing it. Add in this mixture here like this and mix. If you can get a mixer, like a hand mixer, you can use that, but there's no light, so this is what we would use. This works well as long as you have the strength to turn it. So yeah, this what we just added in, remember, is STPP. It helps to stabilize everything. I remember I said SLS, the one that looks like grain, also helps in stabilizing the whole mixture. So I'm going to dissolve this also into this bucket so we can get all of everything that is inside. So let's get along. So that this is what we have here. So I'm just going to pour in this water. You can pour in the water before. I just wanted to show us that. Just pour in and make sure it dissolves, right? So you have to mix and mix until that happens. So at this point, this is dissolved to the level we want it. So I'm just going to transfer that into this here and mix again. Remember, we're producing 15 liters, right? And the water we've used so far is not even up to 11 liters yet, because we still have water here. Still have water inside. This orange thing is the foam booster, so that's the next thing I'm pouring in, and I'm gonna turn and mix. Okay, so this was the one I did previously, so I want to mix the two together. That was the reason for the SS sulfonic. So I'm going to mix the two together here. Yeah, you can see it's giving us the lemon feel already. What I simply did was mix the old and the new together and added in my perfume. Right now, we're just going to wait for all the foam to settle down, so you can leave this to the next day. And when you come back to it, you will see something looking lemonish. Remember the mixture I first of all turned into this bowl? It was lemon. That's how it's going to look like when the foam comes down. And you can just go ahead, package this if that's what you want to do, or just use it for your own purpose. It's left for you to decide. But that's just a simple way of making a liquid soap. Yeah. At this point, we can say we are done with our soap. Let's just check out the thickness. This is lemon. So this is a few days after the soap had been made. So since I was editing this content a lot later after I made the soap, so let me come back to it and show you the feel after it has dissolved. And that is, yeah, the foam test for the soap. So you can see you're good to go whether you're packaging or not. So this is actually safe for my palm, and it's safe for everyone.